Good evening and welcome to Newsfeed. Today is Tuesday, January 22nd. I'm Catherine Ragukas.
And I'm Eva Cluding. We're excited to have you here watching with us tonight. Let's see what's happening in Ann Arbor.
On Tuesday night, Central Student Government released a student housing website which included a landlord report card. This website is intended to give an incentive for landlords to treat their tenants fairly and respectfully. Other features of the survey include a map of housing prices in Ann Arbor, average overall landlord rating graph, and a landlord comparison by sentiments. Spaley Group took the highest ranking for average overall landlord rating, with Horvath Properties and Zaragon Apartments following respectively. Sanji Chaudhuri, an engineering senior, played a vital role in the construction of the site, and she stated that she, quote, was really interested in taking the PDF and putting it into a medium where students will want to read it and enjoy it, end quote. There are a variety of colorful, easy-to-use infographics to view and to use accordingly, which can be accessed on the Central Student Government website, csg.umich.edu.
The Michigan Community Scholars Program held its 13th annual Circle of Unity on campus to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. and his legacy. This event had a variety of sponsors, including the UMA, the Ginsburg Center, and the Office of Multi-Ethnic Student Affairs. The celebration included dancing, singing, and spoken word from various performers and student groups. Among the performers were Joe Riley and Julie Butel, who have been playing at the Circle of Unity for the past few years. Aside from the many performances, Martin Luther King's ideas on nonviolence, racial justice, and unity were the focal point of this event.
Imagine that your high school science experiment was picked up by NASA to be used by astronauts at the International Space Station. For a group of Michigan high schoolers, this became a reality. A group of high school freshmen from Traverse City, Michigan, developed a bacteria-growing experiment that they believe could be used to recycle water during space travel. The students' experiment was chosen as part of NASA's International Student Spaceflight Experiments Program, an education initiative that allows high school students to design and propose real space experiments. Regarding his experience with the program, winning group member and high school freshman Cale Cerny stated, quote, "You grow up as a kid thinking that NASA is at the top of the line of science, and now we're communicating with them. It's really awesome," end quote. The Michigan Teens experiment will be launched into space in late spring or early summer.
Now it's time for a short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Oh my gosh, we only have a minute to get to class.
What? Well, alright, I need to go get some water from the vending machine.
I'm gonna be eco-friendly and fill up my water bottle.
Well, I guess I'll see you in class.
Alright. So fresh.
Ah, come on, I just need to get to class.
Welcome back to the show. You're watching Newsfeed. Let's get into our national news. A new Democrat has joined the race for the party's presidential nomination. Senator Kamala Harris of California announced her candidacy yesterday morning with a video posted on Twitter and an appearance on ABC's Good Morning America. Senator Harris stated, quote, "This is a moment in time that I feel a sense of responsibility to stand up and fight for the best of who we are," end quote. Senator Harris's background includes time as the Attorney General of California and District Attorney of San Francisco. Her announcement video posted on Twitter is titled, quote, "Kamala Harris, for the people," end quote, referencing what she would state when she rose in court during her time as a prosecutor. Senator Harris also announced a campaign kickoff rally in her hometown of Oakland, California, to be held on Sunday, January 27th.
1 month into the longest United States government shutdown in history, airports have called in backup security officers to assist with the high rates of unscheduled absences of airport screeners. The Transportation Security Administration, TSA, stated that unscheduled absences this past Saturday, January 19th, reached 8% of the 51,000 screening officer employees. TSA officers have been working without pay since December 22nd because they have been deemed, quote, essential during the government shutdown. These staffing shortages have led to longer airport security lines and delays in government approval for new air routes. Members of TSA's National Deployment Force, a team typically called upon during natural disasters, have been sent to many major airports. Unpaid TSA workers have been offered free meals and other donations as support during the shutdown.
Students from Kentucky's Covington Catholic High School drew scrutiny after a video showing them in a confrontation with a Native American activist surfaced over the weekend. However, a second, longer video questions if there is more to the story. The students attended the March for Life in Washington, D.C., and clashed with Native American activist Nathan Phillips, who participated in the Indigenous Peoples March. The first video release showed a group of high school students facing Phillips and chanting slogans, which the video's filmer claimed included, quote, "Build the wall," end quote. A prominent member of the student group wore a Make America Great Again hat. The second, longer video release on Sunday shows that a group identified as the Hebrew Israelites shouted racially charged remarks at the predominantly white Covington students, and Phillips attempted to diffuse the rising tensions. In a statement released today, Nick Sandman, a Covington student featured prominently in the original video, referred to what the students chanted back as, quote, "school spirit chants," end quote, in an effort to counter the Hebrew Israelite shouts. However, Phillips challenged this statement, saying, quote, "I didn't agree with it," end quote.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back with some international news.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes, B, console her,
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for?
Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers.
Feed the pig.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Welcome back to Newsfeed. Now it's time for international news. Egyptian TV journalist Mohammed Al-Ghaidi was sentenced to 12 months of jail time for, quote, promoting homosexuality, end quote, because of his on-air interview with a gay man. He was also fined 3,000 Egyptian pounds and will remain under government surveillance for a year after he is released. However, this can be appealed. The man Al-Ghaidi interviewed had his identity protected and will be able to avoid charges. The interviewee spoke to Al-Ghaidi about his life as a sex worker and his relationships with other men. While homosexuality is not explicitly illegal or mentioned in the Egyptian Penal Code, open members of the LGBT community are routinely arrested for debauchery, prostitution, and pornography. Recent public displays of LGBT pride has inspired an increase in arrests of suspected homosexuals. Amnesty International and other rights groups strongly condemn these arrests because it, quote, represents another blow against freedom of expression, the LGBT community, and diversity in Egypt, end quote.
Late Sunday night into Monday, a total lunar eclipse, along with a super blood wolf moon, took place, marking the first total eclipse of 2019. Most of the world was able to see the celestial event take place, but it was especially visible to those in North and South America. The title, quote, Super Blood Wolf Moon, end quote, comes from a hybrid of multiple lunar events occurring at once. 2019's first supermoon, which is a full moon at its closest to the Earth in orbit, occurred at the same time as the lunar eclipse. A blood moon occurs with the total lunar eclipse when the sun, Earth, and moon line up and the Earth casts a reddish glow, creating a beautiful and rare sight. The lunar event lasted a total of 4 hours, beginning at 9:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and ending at 1:50 a.m. on Monday. The totality phase, where the moon is completely swallowed up by the Earth's shadow, lasted about 62 minutes. A lunar eclipse can be viewed safely by the naked eye, unlike a solar eclipse, where special protective glasses must be worn to look at the rare sight safely. According to CNET, if you didn't get a chance to view this eclipse, there will be 4 more occurring this year, including a solar eclipse to take place in July.
There's incredible talent here at the University of Michigan that is yet to be uncovered, which introduces us to Newsfeed's new segment, Wolverine Profiles. Lauren Guido sits down with Drew Metcalf, an LSA senior who founded the student organization Creatives of Color. This organization created a platform for African American creatives on our campus. Let's take a look.
So I'm a film major, and every space I enter there kind of feels like I'm out of place. Like I would go to certain orgs, casting calls or crew calls, and I'd be like the only black person in there, and everybody already knew each other and be talking, and I'm like, why don't we have something like this? Why do I have to go into this space and feel so much like I don't belong? So I had an idea that if I could take a platform and create it for all these different kind of creative outlets, especially on a campus where we make up 4%, it's important to have this safe space of black creatives. I went through the Optimize Social Innovation Challenge and completed that and got funded to create this platform. My hope for Creatives of Color as a student org is not only to give people that platform and opportunities to show what they do, but to instill like a sense of belonging, that people are engaging with their art and actually enjoying it. Creatives of Color extends beyond me. It's something that will always be evolving and changing, and I have no say in that, but I have a lot of faith that it will just continue to blossom.
Creatives of Color will be holding their second annual showcase on Friday, March 22nd. Thank you to FTVM majors Aria Davis and Anthony McCallan for their aid in the reporting of this piece.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight. I'm Eva Kluding.
And I'm Catherine Ragukas.
And you've just been Newsfed.